Hello everyone, very good morning and good evening. Welcome to our Step Up Circle. So today's topic is 5 keys to start your career in SAP. What are the 5 key things which you need to do if you want to get your career started in SAP, right? The first thing is select your module. Okay, you need to get your module selected, right? Module selected. I do a lot of one-to-one career counseling sessions. Okay, every week, twice I do a career counseling session. I try to give at least time to 8 people, 6 people in a week to have a one-to-one, to have not one-to-one now, 1 to 3 career counseling with me. And a lot of people I found that they have selected their module incorrectly. Okay, or they are very confused at which modules to be selected. So this is the first thing. If you want to go ahead to build your career in SAP, the first thing is you need to select your module. When you are selecting your module, if you are going for the first SAP job, make sure that you go step by step. You don't select combined of the modules together. You select one module, learn that module, start your job hunt on that module, and then you proceed ahead with the next module. Try if you are the new to SAP, okay, if you have not have any consulting experience, try to don't to put your hand into the tough and the complicated modules, right? We have a students who come, we have all sort of trainings. We train on SD, MM, EWM, TM, EWM, all of the courses we have, right? But I always suggest to people, many people come, many freshers comes to me and they said, sir, EWM ka bahut demand hai. EWM is very demanding. I want to start my career in EWM, and they start learning EWM directly. No SAP knowledge, no big knowledge on the warehouse management side. They have never seen the warehouses. They have never managed the warehouses. And they have never worked on the IT tools like SAP, no SAP knowledge, and straight away putting their hand into EWM. Those kind of people, many of those, there would be some smart ones who would be able to sail through with the approach, but there would be many who will burn their hands. Because EWM is 2 to 3 times complex than the core modules like SD and MM. Okay, so my thing would be, boss, don't select your modules. And believe me, 10 out of 8 calls I attended, people wants to go for these modules only because demand बहुत है, पैसा बहुत मिल रहा है इसमें, right? Don't go with the demand, don't go with the opportunities, don't go with the money. Money will follow you once you have a right set of skill set. Okay, make sure you select your first module. You select your first module either based on your interest, okay, either based on your interest or based on your functional expertise. So that should be the criteria for selecting a module to you. Ki bhaiya kisme, I have done so many career counselings, now near to 3,000 now. I met so many people, they are working into the manufacturing, they are the production engineer, but when it comes to SAP, when they are learning SAP, they are learning SAP MM as a module. They want to become an MM consultant. Somebody told ki bhaiya PP ki demand nahi hai, production planning does not have that demand. Although 5-6 years you have spent on production planning as a function operations, you learn SAP MM. SAP MM also you can get a job. But what will happen after the job? Think about it. After the job, these business processes, you need to consult, right? So I always talk that, boss, if you have any functional experience, if you have any operational experience, that should be the base for you to select your module, not the market opportunities. Market might be having opportunities in different things. You cannot do all those things, right? So go based on your functional expertise. Your functional expertise will help you a lot when you'll go onto the ground, when you'll have a discussion with the business, when you listen to the business requirement, when you will try to draft a solution for them. During this all process, apart from your SAP knowledge, your functional expertise would be the one which would be helping you a lot, right? So select your module based on the functional expertise. If you say कि सर मेरे पास तो कोई functional experience है नहीं, I don't have any kind of functional experience, मैं क्या करूँ? नहीं सीखूंगी ऐसे भी, right? So what should I do? In that case, you try to find it out your interest. What is your interest? Where is your interest? Are you interested into the sourcing? Are you interested into the finance? Are you interested into the manufacturing? Are you interested into the planning? Where is your interest level? Based on your interest level, are you more interested into the technical? Okay, do you like the coding? If you like the coding, you are into the technical, you need to select the technical modules. If you are into the supply chains, logistics, based on that interest, you need to select your module. If you are not in between, you are technical, but you don't like coding, then we have another modules like BW, BI, basis. Those are the modules you can get selected, right? So first thing is select your module. I see so many people, they schedule a call with me repeatedly, 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, and they are still stuck ki sir samajh mein nahi aa raha hai kaun sa module karu, which module I should start with. So make your conscious call, okay, based on your interest or your functional expertise. The first rank always goes to the functional expertise. You can always switch your modules. I started my career as SAP PP consultant. Then I consulted MM sourcing and procurement also. I have worked as a SD consultant in the current project. In what I am working, I am an OTC consultant, order to cash consultant, where MM is also there. It's MM and SD both I am handling it. I have worked as a solution architect into the logistics, where I need to handle the multiple different modules. I have worked into the transportation module, transportation module also I have worked on. So I have gained expertise into the different parts, but it does not mean that when I started my career, when I started learning SAP, SD, MM, WM, whatever it's there, I am starting doing everything, right? So it goes step by step. So I learned PP first. Why I learned PP? Because I was core manufacturing. I was for 3 years I was doing in manufacturing, planning. Those is the part I was doing. So based on that, having a strong functional expertise on that, I learned a PP as a module. I did a consulting for PP. Then within the first project itself, I need to also work on QM. So I learned QM. In the second project, I need to also work PP, and WM also I need to work on. So I learned WM. Then slowly I learned MM. Then slowly I learned SD. Then transportation management. So during 17 years, I got chance of working into the different modules, where I stretched my hands and learned multiple things. Right? So make sure that you select your module correctly. Make sure if you want to go if you are new to SAP, you have not done any consulting, put your hand first onto the core modules. What are the core modules? So from module side, we have two kind of modules, right? We have technical modules. We have functional. Technical also, we have a coding related module, and we have non-coding. Coding, if you're interested in coding, you can start your career with ABAP. After doing ABAP, you can also do ABAP on HANA. Then you can go ahead with your UI5, Fiori, or BTP. Start would be with ABAP. Start would be ABAP, OOPS ABAP, ABAP on HANA. Then you will be jumping into UI5, Fiori, or BTP. If you are into the non-coding, you can go ahead with BI, BW, Basis. Those are the modules you can select for. If you are into the functional stream, we suggest starting your career. These are the core modules: SD, MM or sourcing and procurement, production planning, FICO. SD, MM, PP, FICO. These are the 4 core modules are there. And then we have a sub modules, which is QM, PM, PS are there. If you are learning this QM, PS, PM, we suggest you, these are the niche modules. We suggest you at least select one of these modules and then add QM, PS, PM. If somebody is learning PP, I strongly suggest to them, bhaiya, QM bhi learn karo. If somebody suggests learning PS based on their environments, based on their operational experience, I ask them to pick MM or any other module also. Somebody learning PM also, we suggest them to also add sourcing and procurement with PM. Go with the combination of those, because these can have little low demand, but niche in nature. You can get more money in these modules if you have expertise, but try to club with the core modules. So that is the first part, selecting your module correct. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? I don't see anything onto the question and answer window, but I have few things on the chat. If you don't have any question, put NQ on the chat quickly. I have a question from Ashutosh. I have completed my MM module. Please help me get the job in MM module. I will come to that. The first thing is MM. I will come to the 5 steps. And then we'll discuss with you, Ashutosh, that out of those 5 keys, which is the key you are struggling? That after the learning also you are not getting a job. I have so many people reach out to me कि भैया sir learn तो कर लिया, SAP तो सीख लिया, job तो मिल नहीं रहा है. Right? That is what we are talking about. To build your career in SAP, not learning SAP. This session is not about the 5 keys to learn SAP. No. 5 keys to start your career in SAP. Learning is one of the key. Okay, so you need to check what are the other keys are missing. We'll talk about that. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos. Muni Madhi is asking, I am from civil engineering background, which one I should learn? Muni, I think you are already learning. You have already learned a module, right? If I am not wrong, if you are the same Muni Madhi who have been enrolled in our courses, please let me know which modules you have already learned so that we don't start with you from scratch. CS and TM okay with SD core. For SD core is very good for TM. If somebody really want to learn transportation, I ask them learn TM, learn SD, and with SD either you select CS or you select TM. Don't put too many things into your plate. Okay, don't put too many things into your plate. Getting expertise into one single module of SAP also, it's very, very difficult, right? So make sure you go with SD and TM or SD and CS. Both would be good based on your function expertise. I have a question from Amit. If someone pursuing FICO, so which submodule would you refer? If someone is pursuing FICO, first learn FICO. Once you learn FICO, after that, second module, you can put your hand on controlling. Although the FICO module, finance and controlling, the controlling itself is there, right? But the controlling would be 25 to 30%. 70% it would be finance in FICO course. So you make sure that you do a specialized course on controlling. I see that 80% of FICO consultant knows FI. They don't know the deep of CO. So I would suggest you that after FICO, you put your deep hand in the controlling side of it. I would be coming to the job market part. Okay. Nikhil is also same question कि सर FICO कर लिया, जॉब कैसे मिलेगा? जॉब तो नहीं मिल रहा मेरे को, क्या करेंगे? Just hold on. I will come to your, these 5 things will answer your questions. Okay, so once you have selected your module, the second important thing is gain knowledge on the business processes. This is the step people also miss. So many people I talked about, they are into the SAP sir configuration, SPRO aata hai, I have done SPRO in that part I have done. Kyun ki SPRO? Why you did the configuration? Why you set up the master data? So this master data is required, this transaction code is there. I was taking a few days back some interviews. I asked them, okay, sure, tell me the end-to-end process for EWM inbound or EWM outbound. So first we do this transaction code did this, then this transaction code this, then this transaction code this. Why? Right? Why we are doing this? Why we are doing configuration? Why we are setting up a master data? We are doing SAP because we want to support business processes. We want business to run their business processes with the SAP tool, with the SAP product. And we as a consultant would be configuring those products, would be configuring, would be providing training to the businesses on those products so that they would be able to run their business processes, right? So we are doing all of these things so that the business can run their business processes correctly. So make sure that whichever the module you know, you work deeper onto the business processes. Gain deep knowledge on the business processes. If you talk about sourcing and procurement, there are so many business processes are there. There is procure to pay process is there, then there would be so many variants in procure to pay process. There is a consignment process, there is a subcontracting process, there is a return to vendor process, there is a free goods scenarios process, right? There are so many different variations are there. There is an invoice creation, there is a logistic invoice verifications. So many different things are there, right? With so many different things available, you need to know what is that business process, why business is doing that business process. So once you know the business process, then you would be able to understand what SAP has built for that business process. What transaction code I need to do in SAP for that. What configurations I need to do so that the business process can be set it up rightly as per the business requirement in the system. What master data I set it up for them. So knowing a business processes knowledge is important. Whichever the module you have selected for, go deep into, gain deep knowledge on the business processes. If you are into the finance, go deep into the accounts payable, go deep into the account receivable, assets. What happens in the business? Not about SAP. What happens in business? Why business do certain things? What process flow business does in different kind of industries? What kind of different things has been done? How the process is modified differently in the different kind of industries? Why they use batch management? Why they use serial number management? What is the business process? Why it is required? Those all functional questions answers are very important, because I don't want you to become a SAP consultant. We want you to become a SAP functional consultant. Functional consultants are those who are strong onto the SAP business processes. Unko SAP ke business process pata hai. If you say that EWM, you should be knowing that what are the different kind of warehouses are there, what are the complexities are there into the warehouses, what kind of different storage types has been used, why it has been used, what is LIFO, FIFO, FEFO, why these all terminology used, in what kind of scenarios business use these flows. So all of that business knowledge should be clear in your mind. Once you have a very clear picture of the business processes in your mind, mapping into SAP would be easy. Then you will become a SAP functional consultant. नहीं तो SAP consultant बन के रह जाओगे. These things I am talking about is very important, or the most important for the functional consultants. For technical consultant, it is not that important. If you are in technical BI, BW, basis, or ABAP, those things, those business processes are not that relevant for you, that you can learn it later on during your job experience. But as a functional consultant, you are going in, the first thing you need to do is the consulting, business consulting. You should know the business processes. What I have used whenever I learn something, whether I have learned so many modules, right? Every time I put my hand on the module, first I try to learn a business process. Business order to cash ka kya business process hai? What are the variations there? What is the pre-sales process? Why do we create inquiry? Chahiye kyun inquiry? Can I do work without inquiry? Those are the basic questions you should ask yourself as a function. SAP में जाने से पहले, before going to SAP, make sure the business concepts are very clear. If you have a good business process knowledge with good business concepts, whatever the IT tools coming up and there, SAP is there or not in future, your job would be stabilized. Okay, you would be IT agnostic, you would be ERP agnostic. You would be able to jump from one ERP to another ERP. Would not be a problem for you. SAP can go away. People ask you, sir, क्या है मेरी job security? SAP में कितने साल चलेगा ये SAP? SAP goes away or not. ERP will always remain. Tata, Mercedes can go away, but cars will remain, right? So you work on the cars, you work on the ERP. Make sure if you have strong business process knowledge, it would be easy for you to jump from one ERP to another ERP in future if the market shift. Okay. So that is the point number 2. If the point is clear to you, if the business process knowledge, why it is required is clear to you, I want everyone to put BP, business process, BP over the chat. If the concept is clear to you that why business process knowledge is required, quickly BP everyone over the chat. BP, BP, BP. Thank you, Rishad. Thank you, Satyendra. Thank you, Bharat. Let me check in between. I have any question? Satyendra, I am parking your question about the technical architect position in SAP. We'll be answering it at the last. Okay, I'm parking your question as of now. Can we go get a job after SD? Yes, you can do. I have couple of years experience in MM. I have joined EWM. Is it a good move? Yes, it's a very good move. Saktival. Okay, let's go ahead. Point number 3. Find a structured learning process. Now, content is not a problem. If you want to learn SAP, you can learn for free. YouTube is full of it. SAP website is full of it. Go to SAP help, everything is there. Getting a content is not a problem. Content is there. You do the Google, every topic you will find it. What is the problem is structured content, step-by-step content, step-by-step process. That is a problem. That's where basically people get struggle. I speak to so many in my career counseling sessions. I speak to so many people. Some people are working for a year, 2 years, 3 years. And when I ask them how you are working, how you are learning, and you are still learning for 2 years, I can say that you can learn in 3 months and be available in the job market within the 3 months of period. I have some cases where basically in 4 to 5 months, people started working as a consultant also after learning. And they are the people who are still working for 2 years, 3 years, still learning. When I ask that, कि भैया क्या कर रहे हो, कैसे कर रहे हो? So what they do, they go into the content which is available into the YouTube. They go into the content which is available on the web. The problem with this content is this: it's a lot of content. You start with one topic, you get it diverted to another topic, you get it diverted to another topic. People started learning MM, and they went so much into the deep into the finance or MRP at their first and second stage itself that the MM content which they want to cover it, they was never able to cover it. A disciplined way, a step-by-step way is important. And you need to understand, you need to ask yourself whether it's whatever the content you have, whatever the method you have, whatever the learning process you have, is it working for you or not, right? Another problem with this learning process and method is the discipline. When you have so many content available, it is also required discipline, structured disciplined way to get it completed in a given time frame. वो होता है ना कि पानी है, right? There's some project methodology called. If I'll spread this water into this table, it will be flown across the table. Whatever the space it will find, it will spread it over. क्योंकि उसके पास उतना space है. Same thing happened with the learning also. If you give yourself 3 months of period, you will learn in 3 months. If you give yourself a 3 years of period, you will be just learning for 3 years. It will never end. And SAP modules are so wide, so spreaded, so deep, okay, that you would be keep on learning. You say, "Arey, mere ko to ye nahi aata. I don't know that." But the truth is, after learning a SAP module, when you walk onto the SAP, from the core and the basic things, if the 100 functionality is there in the module, business use only 8 to 10 functionalities. Rest 80, 90 will not be used in your first project itself. Right? So what you need to know in a specified content, step by step, structure. Tuck, 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 tuck. I need to complete this. I need to complete this assignment. I need to do this hands-on. I am done. Then I will jump into the job market. People who started the courses with us, that's why basically earlier, 4 years earlier, 5 years ago, we were having a content strategy that I would be making a videos and the videos would be given and people would be learning from the videos, right? But one thing is important, that the motivation. Videos does not give you the discipline. Videos does not give you the motivation. That's where we restructured our training program. We understood that कि भैया video sell तो कर दे रहे हम. People are buying also. But whether the results are coming, when we are analyzing it, after 20 to 30% of the videos, when people have gone through, they have stopped going through it because they don't have a discipline. That's the reason that you send your kid to a school. It's not that ABCD, you cannot teach them, but you want to make them to go through in a disciplined environment where they can learn step by step, right? Which you might not be able to provide at home. So make sure you have a structured step-by-step content which is available with you. Okay. And I was talking about why I started the gamifier, the live sessions again, why we are doing the live session, so that we put you in a discipline mode, that this week, this time you need to sit in front of us with 2 hours for the learning. You would be learning something, will be motivating you, will be giving you assignment, and the next session will be asking you, Pradeep, Ramesh, Suresh, have you completed your assignment? No, why not? Give some commitment to complete it. You need some, डंडा लेके पीछे भागना पड़ता है. I feel that I have made so many good consultants, but if I might have not given the push to them, right, then they might not be turned into the consultant. Inherently, 90% of the people are lazy. Inherently, not you, me. 90% people are lazy. If we don't have a sword on the neck, or if somebody is not running behind them, they don't run. वो बोलते हैं ना कि जब तक एग्जाम का प्रेशर नहीं आता, until unless you are not under the exam pressure, you don't learn, right? That's why a structured, a disciplined approach is required to learn it. If you can learn without that, go ahead it, not a problem. But my understanding with the so many years into the trainings into it, people struggle with that. Okay. I have covered that the 10 mistakes what people do while the SAP learning and why they are not able to become a consultant in the learning process. Please watch that video, is available on YouTube. 10 mistakes we do it. Maybe Bhupinder, give that link of the video or the chat. 10 mistakes people do while learning SAP, so that you don't do that mistake. That is a beautiful video. Okay, a lot of people have went through it and they have encouraged a lot. So you also try to go through it. What are the 10? Make sure you are not in your learning process, you are not making those 10 mistakes. Other things, okay, don't be the bookish guy. The another problem which I have seen, people start for preparing the certification, 4 or 5 big books. I need to go through it. Only the bookish knowledge, and then when they jump into the interviews, when they jump into the job, they get struggled. I don't, in my structured way of learning, which we provide in the different courses, we don't follow that method, because that's 100%, the SAP books are 100% successful method for 80% of the failure. Means 80% people would be successfully failed with that method, because that 5 big books, 80% of the people are never able to complete it. And when they are never able to complete it, they thought कि भैया मैं तो consultant ही नहीं हूँ. If I don't know these 4 big books, I am not a consultant. But the reality is, if you know that 20% of the books also, you might be able to work as a consultant. If you know the basics strongly, if you know the key things which is used in most of the businesses, and if you have a good system hands-on, with the 20% of knowledge also, you can become a consultant. So that's where that the 10 mistakes which people do it. That's why in this 5 keys, you will see that certification I have not put, although I recommend it, but I have not put it. I see people doing a wrong approach. Certification करना है. Certification will not give you a job. लिखवा के ले लो मेरे से. Certification will not give you a job. Your knowledge, the way you will speak with the confidence, that will give you a job. If you can show some weightage of experience, that will call you for an interview call. Even with certification, you will struggle to get interview calls also. If you are a complete fresher, no experience at all, certification will help. But before doing certification, you need to do a lot of things. Certification would be the last step for you, not the first step. I see a lot of people, they get some questions. हाँ भैया SAP consultant बनना है. They go for certification. Certification कर लिया, they come to, sir, I have done the certification. SAP does not have any value. I'm not getting. If I ask them the 10 questions, they are not able to answer it. 2 out of the 10. क्या फायदा है certification का? Right? So make sure you don't go with the bookish knowledge. Make sure you go for the certification, but you don't madly run behind the certification. Make sure you learn in a structured way. Make sure you go deep into the hands-on into the system. Make sure you have a good business process knowledge. Make sure your basic concepts are very clear. Then your learning get completed. And then next 2 keys would be getting into your job. Okay. With these 3 keys, you would be learning SAP. Next 2 keys would be getting you a job in SAP. Let's jump into the Next point, before I jump into the next point, quickly, any question so far? If you don't have any question, I want you to put SL in the chat window if you're clear that what do we mean by structured learning. You can go through our websites, Bhupender, Aman, reach out to support team. They will give you, we have so much of structured content. You can go through it, how the content has been structured step by step with the assignments, which will help you to learn SAP. You can ask the team, they will share all the content links with you. But if you understand the importance of structured and disciplined learning, put SL quickly. Everyone put SL on the chat window. Thank you very much. In between, I have a question from Akanksha. I'm from the commerce background. I have a BCom degree completed in costing. Special, which module I should learn and which module scope in the business market? Akanksha, FICO is a straightaway answer for you based on your expertise. FICO is the course which you need to go. FICO is in the most demand course. I have not seen in my last 17 years any implementation where FICO is not there. SD might be there, MM might be there or not be there. I have seen it. But FICO must be there. Without FICO, I have not seen any SAP implementation happen. So FICO, you can go for it. Okay. Let's go to the key number 4. Get exposure to the projects. Now, this is the where basically people find it problem, right? कि SAP सीख लेते हैं, right? SAP सीखने में भी they have failed into so many things. They have not structured learning. Their basics concepts are not strong. Business process knowledge is not there. Let's say you have done all these three keys, which I have mentioned above. The fourth key, which would be very important for you, is get exposure to project. That is a very common thing which you'll find in the market when you'll jump into the market. कि सर फ्रेशर के लिए तो कोई जॉब है ही नहीं, फ्रेशर को तो जॉब कोई देता ही नहीं है. I said, right, why should someone go give a job to fresher? Nobody should give a job to a fresher. Why should somebody give? You should understand one thing. Okay, before I speak, let's do some interaction. Let me ask to you. Why there is very less requirement for the freshers? Why company does not prefer freshers in SAP? Anyone has any answer to it? Quickly over the chat. Why companies does not prefer to give jobs to SAP freshers? Why you will see that 90% of the openings are for experienced consultants? If you don't know the answer, you can feel free to type NI, no idea. Bharat is saying less practical knowledge. Okay, that's good. They can't handle business process in a professional way. Okay. No experience, required business process knowledge. Consultant deal with the confidential data and live data. No company would want to let a fresher handle that for them. Very good answer, Tushar. So the problem is you need to understand you are going into some very serious job. You are going to, it's not like that, you know, that any XYZ IT product. It's an ERP IT product and it's a SAP ERP IT product, which would be a lifeline, which would be a heart pumping heart for your company, which would be connecting across your countries. If that pumping heart stopped, your business collapsed. I have seen in my 17 years of career in SAP, I have seen business operationally getting stopped for 2 to 3 days because of the malfunctions which happened in SAP. Because SAP went down, their business gets stopped. I have seen a companies in Malaysia, SAP got implemented and they need to shut down their business. One of the reason in the top 3 was SAP implementation. Right? You will see so many success stories with SAP. And you will also see that people are saying कि क्या tool है यार, SAP full form of SAP सारे आदमी परेशान. Right? People say that why we have implemented SAP, we are not able to run our businesses after implementing SAP. SAP is the same software, right? One company creating a success, one company creating a failure. Right? So you need to understand you are into a very serious business. The product which you are putting it for your companies, if that product goes wrong, your business can have a major impact. One of the places we find that one of the development which was done in SAP related to the customer invoices. Without being properly tested, it went into the production system, and it resulted in so many wrong invoices created to the customers. And it went to that extent they need to completely stop the invoicing process. When they completely stopped the invoicing process, their dispatch also stopped. Okay, for 3 days they were not dispatching to their customers because somebody has moved something wrong into their SAP system without properly testing it. 3 days of a multinational company in a particular region is kind of a millions of loss, right? So you need to understand the business you are going to do, the tool you are going to handle is a very serious tool. None of the business wants to give that kind of serious business to the freshers who does not understand the things, who does not understand the responsibility of the consultant. Any wrong configuration you will do, it move to your quality and then production system. Your production system is screwed up. Sometimes the things get screwed up badly. I have seen those things, right? So they want to know that this system handling, which is a serious in nature, should be handled by the experienced consultant. The implementation need to happen by the experienced consultant. They should be responsible. They should be knowing what they are doing. That's why in the market, there's a huge demand for the experienced consultant or fresher ko koi nahi pucha, right? What you would be doing it, you learn SAP and you want a job in SAP, and freshers does not get job in SAP. So what you should do? You should try your best, try to get exposure on SAP projects. To get exposure on SAP projects. 4 years ago, when I tried to understand that why people, so during this training journey with SastraGeek Solutions, when we started SastraGeek Solution, my trainings I started 10 years ago. 7 years, from last 7 years, I'm dedicatedly 50% into the trainings, 50% into the consultings, doing freelancings, right? So I understood that there is some gap. People are learning SAP, but they are not getting a job. There is a gap. The gap, the bridge is, they don't understand, they don't exposure that if they need to work in a project as a consultant, what they need to do it, what activities they need to do it, what kind of challenges would be there. Okay, there's a lot of things which in if you will go for SAP certified course with 4 lakh rupees would not be taught to you when what actually you would be doing in a project. Preparing a function specification, preparing a business blueprints, handling the business questionnaires, asking the business questions so that they give answer to you so that you would be able to prepare the design. Working on to the customized requirements, doing enhancements, okay, working on to the integrations, BAPIs, bodies, IDOCs. So many things are there which is apart from your module learning, you should learn and get exposure to it. Once you get exposure to it, then you would be able to get more job opportunities. So get exposure to the projects. Now, how you would be getting exposure to the projects? $1 million question. You can get exposure to the project with the internships. Try to get some internship. As a SastraGeek Solutions, we provide internship. Our internship batches goes year around. But when we started the first internship batch, and we said, okay, we want to train the people on SAP with our efforts by creating a simulation projects, believe me, we got more than 2,000 applications, right? Then we restricted कि भैया हमारे पास अपने trainees इतने हैं, इनको ही train कर लो, इनको exposure दे दो, get into a job. So we started the internship project programs with our internal trainees, the people who taken the trainings from SAP, from SastraGeek Solutions. We started offering an internship program, and that internship program created a lot of success. But before internship program, I created a full video content that if you are working as a consultant in a SAP project, okay, what are the things are required? How you would be handling a support project? How you would be handling a implementation project? Okay. Even now we have also specifically launched a product on SAP MM support tickets to give you exposure to 40-50 support tickets, so that you can understand that what kind of tickets you would be handling, and in interviews you would be having some content to tell, right? So we created a job and mastery program. In that job and mastery program, it's a very long program, 60 to 70 hours, where I have taught, if you're working as a consultant in a support project, what things you need to do. If you're working as a consultant in end-to-end implementation, I have first given the full business processes of one of the client I have worked with. Okay, a construction client, I have given that full business exposure. Okay, this is the business. Now in this business, we want to implement SAP. Phase by phase, what things we will be doing. Business blueprint, what business blueprint will prepare, the templates, the examples, what questionnaires, fit to gap workshops. Everything what has been done in every phase has been gone in detail, in depth. Test plan, test scripts, everything in details, cut over. And that has been explained in the job and mastery course. And this course, I felt that that's so beneficial. And by doing this course, so many of the SastraGeek students was able to get placed, that we started this job and mastery as a complimentary. Because when we say that people are getting benefits from this, we give this course as a complimentary. Although if I will say that I'm charging you 30,000 or 35,000 for a course, and I'm giving a job and mastery complimentary, believe me, the cost of the job and mastery would be more than ₹1,00,000, which we are giving complimentary. I am only giving this as a complimentary because I see that each and every person who want to become a consultant, you will have to go through this content. And I have searched around the globe, I didn't find that content. I sat for 4 months doing a batch for it, recorded the 60 hours of sessions, and provided to you as a job and mastery. So if you are struggling, if you have learned, you see that boss, first, second, third part is done for me. From SastraGeek, from outside SastraGeek, from anywhere else, by spending 4 lakh rupees with SAP, I have done it. Fine. Then the thing which you are missing is the job and mastery. And the next thing which you are missing is the project experience through the internship program. So we do our internship batches where basically we take the students from the different modules, SD, MM, PP, FICO, or BAP. They sit together and they deliver a project. It would be a simulation project in our environment, but I would be giving a requirement. Right now we are doing a implementation for an India client, a rubber roller client. Last time we did a healthcare implementation for US client. So all of these clients, we are basically, I am involved into the pre-sales, or I am involved into the projects. I take that as a simulation scenario without using the client name. As a simulation scenario, I use it. And that simulation scenario, we give it to you that take the system. I will be giving you assignments. You need to do all the things: enterprise structure, business blueprint, as is, to be, function specifications, developments, enhancements, working with a BAP. Get a full exposure to it. Once you get full exposure to it, then the confidence comes, right? Then you would also be able to showcase some experience. Okay, you would be able to showcase some experience. So that is what it is missing. Not only learning SAP as a technical thing will help you, you need to also know how the work happens in the projects, how you would be working as a consultant. You should be ready in the market as a consultant. Okay. EP, exposure to projects, quickly on the chat. If you understand importance of working in a project, mention EP, exposure to the project, quickly on the chat. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so we have an internship program. We give an internship program as a complimentary. You can do this with your existing jobs. Okay, we don't pay for it. We don't charge for it. But we only give the internship program because of the limited seats, and it takes a lot of effort from my side to run those programs. So we only give it to our students, SastraGeek students, who has taken the 2 bundle courses from us. Those people, we automatically make them eligible, give them the complimentary internship chance to work in the internship sessions. Then the fifth and the most important step, network and market yourself. You need to understand you yourself is your product. You are a product of yourself, right? So you are the one who need to make sure that your product shines, your product improves, and your product gets sold into the market. No one else has that responsibility other than you, right? So you need to build your product. You need to shine your product. You need to sell your product in the market. How the selling of the product will happen in the market. That's where basically the networking skill will come into the picture. Okay. One of the things which you need to use it is when you will go to the job and mastery, the first full section is the CV building. And right now we are separating out the CV building and we are creating a full separate course for the CV building. So that we have a separate course for the CV building, because CV is the first thing which will go into your market. You yourself is not in front and speaking blah, 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 right? Your CV is in front of the so many automatic AI tools getting selected you for a job. If you learned a lot of things, you can speak with the confidence. But if your CV is not proper, your resume is not proper, then you will not get the calls, right? So to get the calls, it is important you build a good CV which is required in the market. CV should speak the language what is required in the market. Whether you have the skill set right now or not. I am again speaking, whether you have that skill set right now or not is not that important. Your CV speaking of the skill sets are important. There are so many suggestions we have given in that course, in the job and mastery, and we are separating it into a CV building course, that what you need to write, how you need to draft a course, how you need to draft your CV. To create this would not be big, around maybe 3 hours of course. But to do this 3 hours of course, I subscribed myself for 12 different courses around the globe, into the different platforms, into the Udemy and into the different Coursera, into the different platforms. I subscribed for 10, 12 paid trainings to understand the concept of resume building, so that I can squeeze everything and give it to you. Ki bhaiya, for SAP CV preparation, what do you need it? Right? So there basically I have put it the things which exactly you need it to put in your CV. And when I say that, even though you don't have a skill set, you put it there. Why I said that? Because I did the same thing with me. Before learning SAP, I put it my CV in SAP things and I have shooted into the market just to check in market mein kya demand hai, interview calls aa rahi hai nahi aa rahi. And believe me, if you have put it one or two skill set in your CV, which is required in the job, and you have put it, and the interview call came, and the interview got set it up, those couple of things you might be able to learn in a week, in a 3 days of period, which you was not able to learn in last 3 years. When the pressure comes on your neck, when the interview is scheduled in next 3 days, you would be learning a lot of things. You would be sitting ki bhaiya ab to interview dena hai, thodi बेइज्जती कम हो, इसलिए let's learn something. कुछ तो answer दे पाए हम, right? With that process, you would be learning a lot. I always do that thing. That is so many things I have talked, so many techniques I have talked in that course, but few things I'm telling it, right? One of the other thing is convert your functional experience into SAP. There's also people struggle कि यार मेरे को SAP का experience तो नहीं है. That requires experience. I got experience from the working onto the projects. Now, how to showcase the experience? You need to showcase the experience, and that I am telling you not for the SAP. It's same across the industry. That's before putting that thing into the content. I validated myself from the 10 to different courses of generic courses on the CV building, and believe me, they all talk about the same thing, which I talked about, the manipulating the experience or converting your functional experience into SAP. That is not a fake experience. There's a difference between fake experience and there's a difference between a manipulated experience. You need to understand that. What you need to showcase is manipulated experience, not the fake experience. So when I go through this 10 to 12 different courses of resume building, they all courses talk about and the specific section I went through of those courses. Then when you want to build a CV, when you're working on a trade A and you want to shift to trade B, right? You're working on trade A and you want to shift to trade B. That will happen to you. You're working on a functional trade and you want to jump into the consulting trade, right? Those all courses, those all experts, they talk about the same thing. Unless you don't show that you know how to work, you have worked on as an electrician, right? If you have in your CV all plumbing, nobody will give you a job as an electrician. True or not, right? Nobody will give you. So you need to find it out in your existing job. What are the points are there you might have worked which is linked with your next job? Maybe those are small. Expand them, stretch them. Expanding and stretching, you are not doing it without any cost. You would be spending quite amount of time. If you do with the internship program, with mastery, with excellence, you might be spending somewhere around 500 to 600 hours. 500 to 600 hours you would be spending on SAP with us, right? Those 500, 600 has certain experience, but you cannot straight away put those experience. You need to mold with your existing jobs, and then it will make sense. And there are a lot of tactics are there that how you're working in a company where SAP is not there, still you would be able to showcase some SAP experience. Okay, by molding your experience, by enhancing it, the steps which you have done, putting it what you have learned from the training, from the internship, putting into that, combining it and creating a beautiful CV, which you would also be able to defend in your interviews with confidence. How? Because you have completed all of the assignments which we have asked to do. You have completed all of the job and mastery. You have completed all of the assignment in the internship. You have worked in one full internship project. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos. That will give you a lot of content to speak in the interviews. Otherwise, लोगों के पास content ही नहीं है. मैं last 2 weeks I'm taking a lot of interviews. We need people in EWM, we need people in SD, we need people in MM, right? I'm taking a lot of interviews. People does not have a content. Yeah, you have experience or you don't have experience. I'm asking a question. You explain in elaborated way, I take you. Okay. I take you, whatever the experience you have it or not, I will take you with my discussion of 40 minutes, 45 minutes with you. I tell them upfront to you. But they are not able to answer the question. They are not able to defend the things. They are not able to answer the elaborate because they have never got exposure to it, right? So make sure once you get the exposure, you market yourself well. To market yourself well, make sure you prepare a good CV. Make sure you go do a good networking. LinkedIn would be the one to do the networking, a gold mine. In all of the, when you jump into it, I would be asking you, Bhaiya, this is the assignment, you prepare it. We'll be sharing a template with you. You prepare in the template. Once it is prepared, share it on the LinkedIn. Share it on the LinkedIn. Market yourself over the LinkedIn. Right? Showcase your expertise in the LinkedIn. If you're working on SAP SD, let's example. I want you to mention today itself, you thought about you will be learning SD. I want you to mention today itself as a SD consultant on the LinkedIn. Because I am a big follower of Rhonda Byrne. It's still in my book library, sitting there. Magic, the Secret. I'm a big fond of Rhonda Byrne, the law of attraction, right? The law of attraction says that you need to be into what you want to be in future, right? You need to believe yourself as a consultant now, today. Speak about it, write about it. Share the knowledge as you are consultant. Write in your CV, you are consultant. Write in your LinkedIn, you are consultant. Knowledge comes, everything fall in place. सारी कायनात जुट जाएगी तुमको consultant बनाने के लिए. I strongly believe on those concepts. In my life, whatever the things I got because of the law of attraction. I exactly work to achieve anything. I exactly work in the same way. That's what I suggest people to do it. Right? So network yourself well, market yourself well. LinkedIn is a tool. CV is the one which need to be prepared correctly. My 5 points are done. All to you as an audience. Go ahead, shoot your question. I would love to answer them. First, I would be going through the chat to answer it, and then you can also start raising your hand if you want to unmute yourself. Param said, I am with MM background and want to upskill. Once upskilling is done, I'm sure that the existing company does not consider for EWM opportunities due to lack of EWM experience. What should I do once upskilling is done? You are already MM consultant, right? Once you are already a consultant, you know a lot of things, that how the ecosystem works, how the project comes, how the consultant works, how to discuss with the business, how to do the business requirement, how to do the configurations, how to move it to the quality system, how to move it to the production system. All of these things, a lot of ecosystem things you already know. On top of it, you need to add EW. If you have completed all the assignments which has been given in our EWM course, I would suggest you that one of your SAP MM experience, you transform it to the EWM. Show it in one of the projects you have worked as the EWM. Then in the market you would be working, you would be getting opportunities in the open market as a EWM consultant. Off-topic question: when is SAP CS and PM is starting? PM is starting in the month of December. I think we are having in December. We are having in November end. I think we are having a demo session for it. Support team will confirm. CS we are still working on it, but PM is in good shape. The content has been done, and demo session in a week or two is happening for PM. How many implementation and support projects have to do with the initial 5 years of career? Is e-invoice implementation can be considered as an end-to-end implementation? E-invoice can be considered as implementation. We don't call it as an end-to-end implementation. Okay. But if in a job requirement, they are saying end-to-end implementation, you mention it. And you can say that it was the end-to-end implementation of e-invoicing. You can play around with the words. You can play around with the terminology. Believe me, once you are into the interview, and it totally depends on that, how you impress the interviewer, right? How you are speaking, how you are conveying once you are into the interview. Maybe you don't have on the papers, you don't have that set of experience, but the interviewer, if we believe that you would be able to do it based on the discussion, you can have a chance to get it pursued ahead. Okay. You can mention as an end-to-end implementation, and in interviews, you can say it was a e-invoice implementation, right? So play around with the words, not a problem. Sir, please tell me the role of a technical architect position in SAP. Satyendra, now I'm answering it. So technical architect would be the people who are experienced people, okay, and they would be knowing their stuff on SAP ABAP on HANA, OOPS ABAP, multiple things they know strongly into it, right? And they would be working as a technical architect or the technical leads also, sometimes we call them. All of the complex requirement which has a high complexity, they need to make sure that they design it, the technical architecture, that which workflows need to be used, which bodies and how the code need to be right. That technical architecture they need to build. They need to work on the TS, technical specifications. All other things which has been prepared which is not onto the very complex category, they need to just review the technical specification, or they need to review the code, and they need to suggest the junior people how they can improve it. And working on a business requirement, the junior people, when they get struggle into it, when they get okay, I'm not able to deliver it, I'm not sure how to write a code for it, then they would be coming to the technical architect to get the suggestion from him, or how the code need to be improved, how the performance can be enhanced in the code. All these things with the review, technical architecture would be letting it know to the junior consultants. I have a question from Nitin. Sir, from last 8 years, I am working as a super user or core team member for SD module. Please advise which course suitable for me. So for last 8 years, I am working as a super user or core team member for SD module. Which course is suitable for me? So first you need to do, Nitin, SD Mastery Bundle. Okay, so Bhupender, please share the URL for SD Mastery. So Nitin, first you need to do the SD Mastery. Okay, the SD Mastery Bundle is the right thing for you. Your experience, if you said 8 years as a core user and super user, we would be going ahead showcasing as a consultant. Believe me, people does not know their capabilities. I have developed so many core team members into a consultant, and they just have a 1 year experience as a consultant, and rest experience they have a core user experience. They are working better than the 10 years experience consultants, right? Core users, super users experience, don't take them lighter. In our many projects, we find that the CTM members, core team members, are better than the consultants. Okay, because they know the business, and on top of the business, they also know the SAP. Maybe one thing they not be knowing it, that the configuration they have not done with their own hands. Otherwise, a core team member is the 80% consultant already. It just need a one push. So that one push, you will get it with the SD Mastery Bundle. And I think you will find very less difficulty to get into a job as a consultant, Nathan. Bob, Sarji, do you have a course on S/4HANA cache management? If so, I would like to sign up. As of now, we don't have it. Sorry. As of now, we don't have it, and we don't have a partner institute who is providing it so that I can suggest you. So as of now, we don't have it. Any other question? Shweta is asking, I have a couple of years of experience in MM. Can I go for TM? If you have a couple of years of experience in MM, okay, what is making you to go for TM? That's what I want to know. That's what basically I won't be able to suggest you to go for or not. So Shweta, I am giving you unmute access. You can speak and then I can suggest you better. Shweta, can you raise your hand so that I can give you the unmute access? Shweta is, yes, Shweta, okay. You have access to unmute now, Shweta.
Hi, Parminder.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, right now I have staffed into the project which has TM background. So I just wanted to understand whether to go for course and learn TMR.
Go for it. Go for it.
Okay.
If you have already been staffed, if TM is a project you see in front, if that is what you would be getting it, go for it. You would be able to learn with MM. Maybe a little bit SD, you need to also learn it, but based on the MM experience from the Google search also, you can learn a little bit of SD, which you want, and you can go ahead with TM.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Bharat is asking how to manage escalations more effectively. What kind of escalations? Bharat, raise your hand so that I can unmute you. I have given you unmute access. Go ahead, Bharat.
Yeah, hi Paramita. I'm audible.
Yes, you're audible.
Mainly the project escalations, okay, for the support tickets. We are working as per the SLA standard service level agreement. If I'm not able to deliver on time, client will escalate it. So how can I manage more effectively? What are the steps I have to? What are the actions I have to take?
If you're asking me specifically from the perspective of the support and handling the tickets, based on the SLA, I would be answering for that. There are the specific tactics to handle the SLA, right? You need to make sure as soon as the ticket comes. That's where basically I feel that a lot of support consultants struggle with it. As soon as the ticket comes, you need to find it out. First thing is acknowledgement. Second thing, maybe you are having information and maybe you know what need to work on it.
Yeah.
If you want to buy a time, try to find it out. There would be some information. If you get it from the user, it would be good. It would be better for you. So by the time you are working on the issue, you send back that whatever the more information you require, you send it back to the user as soon as possible. As soon as you are reading the things, first thing you need to work on, you need to list down what things you need to work on, what additional information you require, which if you get it, you would be able to work on the things better and immediately send it back to the user with that set of things which you require. With that, your SLA gets stopped, right? And with that, you will be buying a more time to work on to the things. Wherever you find that you got stuck with the issues and you're not able to find, okay, you as a support consultant also, you can raise the ticket to SAP. Don't delay, don't कि भैया 2 दिन तो मैं पहले खुद से देखूंगा, then I will raise a ticket to SAP. If there is something got in standard thing, some bug got came, you said कि भैया as a we have not done any enhancement as per SAP standard, this should work, but it's not working. Don't delay to raise a ticket to SAP also. Okay, don't wait कि okay 2-3 दिन मैं काम करूंगा उसके बाद I will be putting a ticket. As soon as you see that okay this might require SAP help, just raise a ticket to SAP. SAP can come back. This is standard behavior, right? Let them come back, but at least you start the process with SAP if it is required. Third thing, don't delay it reaching to your seniors. If you find it that based on the SLA, if you have SLA of 2 days, okay, within the initial 12 to 14 hours or 12 to 20 hours or 12 to 24 hours, you have not reached to anything concrete, okay, and you have not also reached back to the user, also user has given everything to you, you need to reach out to your senior teams to get help from them. Don't reach to them कि भैया SLA अभी breach होने वाला 2 घंटे में, अब क्या करूं मैं, right? Reach in advance. So these are the tactics, okay? Acknowledge, and then buy some more time by asking user for more information and more clarity.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay. That is how you need to handle the SLAs and the tactics to manage the SLAs in the support projects. So thank you everyone for joining today's session. I hope today's information will help you, especially for the people who are looking forward to start their career in SAP. It will help you out. So have a good weekend ahead, and don't miss tomorrow's match. India is in finals, India versus Australia. I hope India will win. Thank you everyone, and have a great weekend ahead.